he was here in Tallahassee. 36 kickoffs for Florida State, 36 touchbacks. They won the toss and deferred. And Pitt will start on the 25 with a true freshman quarterback who really excelled at his first start.
He played like anything other than a true freshman a week ago, and it was his decisiveness. And how about the anticipation and accuracy with the football? This is the fourth of his touchdown passes. Seeing the linebacker anticipating that space come open, and he's got athleticism. He can extend the play, make plays with his legs, getting outside the pocket, eyes down the field. He was decisive, he was accurate, and he was as efficient as any quarterback Pitt has had all year leading this offense.
And as Taylor mentioned, Desmond Reid good to go. He is starting for the Panthers, and he'll get the pitch here off the left side on first down. And he picks up about 2, tackled by Jabril Rawls. Heintschel, 18 years old, from Oregon, Ohio, which is east of Toledo. Was a Michigan fan growing up. That's because his dad played baseball at Michigan. Heintschel started out as a baseball player. And he'll throw for the first time on the road here. Caught by Holmes, but a great defensive play again by Rawls. Cut down for no gain, bringing up 3rd and long.
And this will be a key. 3rd and long situation on the road. The most he had played it in front of on the road in high school was just over 1,500. There's going to be over 70,000 here today. This crowd will come alive, and this defense got speed and will be attacking him all afternoon.
Facing a 4-man rush, Heintschel steps up. Nice juke, and he lunges, but comes up short of a first down. Elijah Herring dragged him down. It is 4th and 1, and Pitt keeping its offense on the field here inside its 35 for 4th down.
Boy, this is a huge gamble early on for Pat Narduzzi. I expected to see the punt unit on the field. It makes a quick decision, and he's going to leave his freshman quarterback.
Heintschel on the rollout and throws complete to Reid for a first down out to the 42.
Well, they've got their best weapon back. Desmond Reid out of the backfield. He's going to roll the pocket. He's going to be right here. It's a really good play call by Cade Bell. Match Desmond Reid up with a linebacker. He's on Blake Nicholson. Can't keep up in coverage.
Here's Reid out of the backfield, and Reid is wrapped up and thrown down at midfield. Dusty, that tells you the confidence they have in Mason Heintschel, what we saw on 4th down. We talked with Pat Narduzzi and the coaching staff yesterday. They said Heintschel's leadership was clear early on in camp, even when he was the number 3 quarterback. He eventually worked his way up the depth chart to the backup. When Eli Holstein struggled the last 2 weeks, they had no problem inserting Heintschel.
Leadership, preparation, and now we see execution here in this game.
On 2nd and short, off play action, Heintschel throws, and a sliding catch is made inside the 35 by Poppy Williams. Another strong throw and a gain of 16.
Well, it's good protection, and Heintschel stands firm in the pocket, surveys the field, and a strike down the field to a sliding Williams. Poppy Williams, nice job going to the ground, making that catch.
Here's Goff off the right edge. Popped at the 30 by Earl Little Jr. Our impact players brought to you by Mattress Firm.
We've already seen Desmond Reid. He's one of the best weapons in the ACC, a preseason All-American. And Darrell Jackson Jr., massive, 6'5", 335 on the interior of that Florida State defensive line. They needed to be good against the run and get good push on the interior of that line.
Heintschel with a late pitch, and the ball is on the ground, and the Panthers recover it. Justin Holmes saves Pitt from a disaster back at the 36-yard line.
Well, you said it, Dave. Disaster averted, and this is just a big mistake. You're going to see Goff work out. They're going to try to run an option, and he fakes it initially, and then he just pitches it, hits Goff in the back. Really well done by Holmes to get on top of that, but 3rd and long here. A second time here in this first drive for Mason Heintschel.
Florida State will rush 4. Heintschel sitting in the pocket, just going to check it down here. And down the sideline is Reid. Lowers the shoulder on Rawls, the center. Knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And Pitt keeping the offense out there again. It appears to be 4th down and inches one more time.
If you're going to go for it on your own side of the field, you might as well go for it on this side of the field. How about Desmond Reid's impact already out of the backfield? He ran past Elijah Herring like he wasn't even there. And then powerful there at the end as he lowers the shoulder and picks up that additional yardage.
They threw it on 4th down on the first attempt. We'll see if they run it here with Reid in the backfield next to Heintschel. Now it's another pass play. Now Heintschel steps up, got the first down, and finally brought down at the 20-yard line. 2 4th down conversions on the opening drive for the Panthers.
Watch the tight ends on the left side of the offensive line. Jake Overman, Justin Holmes both cave this down, and it's going to allow Heintschel to get to the perimeter and get to the edge. Surveys the field, the tight ends cave it down, delayed quarterback draw, executed once again very well. Boy, you don't typically see a true freshman go on the road and the trust on 2 4th downs here on this opening possession.
And 5 of 5 passing. Out of empty. Heintschel to throw again. Good protection. Everybody covered. Heintschel going to run again. And wisely slides for a gain of a handful down to the 15-yard line.
This opening drive could not have been scripted any better for Cade Bell. And guess what? He doesn't script it because he doesn't script anything. Whether it's in practice or in the game, the young offensive coordinator at 32, everything he calls off field and everything he's calling is working here so far.
And Heintschel in trouble here. Got back maybe to the line of scrimmage before he's taken down by Stephon Thompson. You mentioned Cade Bell, the OC. He was the guy that convinced Pat Narduzzi, the head coach, to sign Heintschel coming out of high school. And a big play for the quarterback here on 3rd down and 6. Trying to get into the end zone here on a drive that's taken 6.5 minutes so far.
We've not called to Kenny Johnson's number yet. Last week, he was virtually unguardable for this Pitt offense. See if they look to 2 here on 3rd down.
Johnson 9 catches last week in the win over BC. Heintschel again with time. Everybody covered again. Heintschel is brought down short again. Does Pat Narduzzi roll the dice one more time? Offense staying on the field. 4th down.
No doubt the mindset very clear here for Pat Narduzzi. Going to be extremely aggressive as he is after a touchdown here on this opening drive.
Boy, it feels like, though, you've got him twice. Maybe you've had a 7-minute drive. You make sure you get points here and kick. No?
Not the mindset. I think he knows we're going to have to come in and score and be aggressive against Florida State.
He's going to call a timeout here. We'll see if he changes his mind. It's been a gorgeous opening drive engineered by the 18-year-old freshman quarterback in his first road start. Already 2 4th down conversions. 4th and 1 remains on the field for 4th down once again, and they have Goff in as the Wildcat quarterback. And actually, it's Deuce Spann that gets the snap, the former Seminole, and he is very close to the first down at the 10-yard line. It is another Pitt first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Well, Deuce Spann was excited to get back here and play against his former team, going Wildcat with him. Goff gets a key block, and you'll see Spann just follow him. Really good job by the running back. Undersized 195. Gets a key initial block right there in the hole on Omar Graham. And just enough for Spann to pick up a 3rd, 4th down on this drive.
9 rushes, 5 pass plays. And now Turner in trouble in the backfield. Able to break a tackle inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown Pitt. What an opening drive for the Panthers on the road in Tallahassee. We wondered how Florida State would respond after losing the last 2 games, including here at home against Miami last week. Down big in most of that game, came back late to make the score look close. Defensively, they let Pitt, with a true freshman quarterback, march right down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after makes it 7-zip.
Well, what a play by the true freshman, Turner. Good block by Bear. 87 is going to get a block, but it's going to come down to Earl Little Jr., the rover, the leader of this defense. He's got a chance to get Turner to the ground. Turner turns on the burners, and Pitt's in the end zone with an early lead, Tallahassee.
For BC last week, 48-7. But a bad kickoff out of bounds. It'll be excellent starting field position for Tommy Castellanos in his first year as the Florida State starting quarterback.
Kick out of bounds by number 94 on the kicking team. Ball was replaced at the 35-yard line. First down.
And in talking with Mike Norvell yesterday and Gus Malzahn, the offensive coordinator, they said we need Castellanos to be around 20 pass attempts. That's when we're in a rhythm offensively, our best chance to succeed. Look at Alabama, just 14. Last week against Miami, they got behind. They had to throw 45 attempts. The coaches said going to be hard to win if we're throwing it that often. Gavin Sawchuk, former Sooner, is in the game at running back, and we have a flag before the first snap on offense for FSU.
Illegal snap by the center. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Luke Pettibone commits a penalty for Florida State before they even have their first snap.
And he's been their most reliable, best offensive lineman for this group so far this year. This group a little bit different as Micah Pettis out. He got banged up a week ago against Miami. Jacob Rizzi will start at right tackle, and Adrian Medley will stay at right guard.
We already talked about Pittman's injury, so they got a lot of guys out. Castellanos trying to find some room to run, and he gets about 4 before he's brought down by Lovelace. As we look at our road,
the run.
Sawchuk gets the pitch, and off the right side finds the 40 for a 6-yard gain to put him in third and manageable, third and about 5.
This Pitt defense, they bring a lot of pressure, a top 10 pressure rate team in college football. It's Kyle Lewis down on the field, preseason All-American linebacker for Pitt. Sorry, Rasheem Biles, not Kyle Lewis.
Biles equally important.
Yes.
In fact, the Pitt coaches say that Biles and Lewis and Lovelace make up the best linebacking core they've had.
For Pitt, get another look at this.
And you see there the ball carrier Sawchuk made contact with the leg as he rolled over.
All kinds of havoc, and no one's created more havoc for this defense than Rasheem Biles working his way off the field.
No, third down and 4 for Florida State. Tommy Castellanos, we already saw him run on first down. Picked up 1,100 rushing yards 2 years ago when he was at BC. He'll throw it here, though, on third down. Backing up, trying to see over the defense at 5'10". Now he'll take off and throw it late. A deep ball downfield, and a flag is thrown. Pass was incomplete. Trying to hit Deuce Robinson, but that's a smart play by Castellanos, hoping to get a pass interference call, and he did. Rashad Battle, the guilty man.
And Rashad Battle just really never gets turned around. He's in good position, trying to deal with the very talented
defense. Number 15. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Deuce Robinson becoming one of the best receivers in the ACC. 6'6", 223. Battle's fine. He's in good position. Never gets turned around. Continues to work through Robinson. An easy call for the official.
Back to the run game in Sawchuk, and he's grabbed by Lovelace at the 43. So a 2-yard gain for Sawchuk, who was injured for most of last year at Oklahoma. 2 years ago had almost 800 rushing yards. They will rotate backs. They've used 3 or 4 different starters at tailback in a handful of games so far. Sawchuk again Falls forward to the 40-yard line. 3 more yards, 3rd down.
They are attacking downhill. This linebacking core of Pitt. Not much sledding, not much running. Gus Malzahn wants to run the football. He knows they have the advantage in size, and he wants to run the football downhill today.
Could be 4-down territory in this area of the field at the opponent's 40-yard line. 3rd and 6. Sawchuk up the gut, gets the 1st down and more, spins out of a tackle. Inside the 15 and inside the 10, trying to hack the ball out was Kyle Lewis, and it's a big play for 34 yards.
Well, it's inside. It's Luke Pettibon. It's Adrian Medley. The center right guard, the strength of this offensive line. They run right behind him. Excellent job blocking on the interior of the offensive line.
So 1st and goal for Florida State at the 7. Castellanos will keep it. He stumbles and then gets drilled at the 1-yard line by Lovelace and Lewis. It'll be 2nd and goal. Florida State trying to get to the line and snap it quickly.
They are going very fast right now and get this Pitt defense off balance.
Here's Sawchuk. Keeps the legs moving. Pushback, though. He did not get in. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Lovelace again. And there's an injured Panther one more time. Isaiah Neal, who's been starting at defensive end because of all the injuries they've had at that position. He's shaken up here.
Body back, right around 220 pounds.
And they'll put Castellanos under center here. And Holmes takes the pitch. And it's going to be close. No signal just yet. Now there is. It's a touchdown for Florida State. Just the 8th carry all year for Holmes and his 2nd score.
They were overloaded to the left side. We take a look. Yeah, it looks like that football. He's over the goal line. Overloaded to the left side. They move Medley over there, outside. Run right behind him. Get just enough push movement off the back of Jacob Rizzi. And Holmes powers his way into the end zone. An outstanding answer for the Noles.
Certainly was. And the big play was the pass interference that kept the drive alive on 3rd down by Rashad Battle on a deep ball to Deuce Robinson. So tied at 7. Let's check in with Matt Berry in the studio. right, Matt, what did you think going into that game about Bama and Mizzou, the first game Matt mentioned?
I thought it was going to be a knockdown drag-out. I think a lot of points going to be scored. We had Missouri earlier this season. Ahmad Hardy is special. Well, he is so difficult to tackle. Ty Simpson been playing great. I think it's going to be a game that comes down to the end, but I think both defenses might have some struggles today against those offenses. Boy, how good has Ohio State been? They've allowed 25 points heading into today through 5 games. That offense under Julian Sage just keeps getting better and better and better each week.
Defending champs. We got another big one in the Big Ten. Obviously, game day was in Eugene, Indiana, which housed Illinois earlier in the year. Taking on Oregon, which had the big win against Penn State a couple weeks ago.
What a day of college football.
Red River coming up 3:30 ABC. And the ball falls off the tee again because of the wind. Weinberg will boot it deep to Deuce Spann. Florida State with wins over Alabama, East Texas A&M, and Kent State. The losses to Virginia in double overtime and last week against Miami. Checking with Taylor now.
Well, Dave, the nation is getting to know Pitt quarterback Mason Heintschel.
Jet sweep, Blue Hicks hurdles a defender, but does not pick up much. Heintschel was lightly recruited. Got offers from Pitt, Ohio, Liberty, and Bowling Green. That's it.
Credit Cade Bell. He saw something in him. He saw the tape and he knew that this guy was a gamer. Didn't have a great team around him, didn't have a great offensive line, but he continued to make plays. And his leadership since he's been there has blown this staff away.
Heintschel with pressure in his face makes a nice move to get rid of the defender and finds Turner down the sideline. Oh, Heintschel made that happen, making the defender miss, and it's a gain of 17.
It's going to be Blake Nicholson coming off the edge. He's untouched. Watch Heintschel start outside, freeze the defender, work back inside. Eyes stay down the field as he locates Turner out of the backfield. Boozy Turner is a game changer out of the backfield. We saw the touchdown run earlier and the speed on the perimeter after the catch.
Turner trying to break tackles again and spun down for a loss at the 41 by Justin Cryer. It'll be 2nd and 11 with 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
They need more of that from Justin Cryer. This linebacking core, they rotate a lot of guys. They're interchangeable, but the leader of this linebacking core is Justin Cryer.
Goes by Juice, son of a coach, and the team leader. Heintschel climbing the pocket, and oh, he had Turner wide open down the sideline, but a misfire. Otherwise, he might have taken it in for a touchdown. Would have had just one defender to beat.
Boy, Heintschel is going to look at this and be very upset. We're going to see the wheel route outside. Nobody stays with Turner, just wide open. Heintschel a little bit too much on this pass. If he puts it on the numbers, it might go for 6.
His first incompletion of the day, and now it's 3rd and 11.
Can Florida State get any pressure? Look what they're showing all these bodies at the line of scrimmage, trying to confuse and mess with the freshman on 3rd down.
They'll back off and rush 3. Heintschel steps up and delivers a strike for a first down to Poppy Williams to the 44 of FSU.
Boy, this is so good. Only a 3-man rush. And Heintschel, he sees that space in the pass rush lane, steps up. Desir drops as a defensive lineman, comes forward as Heintschel comes up. Poppy Williams finds open space and a big pickup on 3rd down.
Turner trying to get the corner, and just too much speed from Florida State. They track him down at the 40. Still a gain of 4.
We didn't know what to expect. We were impressed with Mason Heintschel last week at home against BC. We talked about it, though. What's he going to do on the road? A better, more athletic, talented Seminoles defense. This stadium, Doak Campbell, one of the best venues in college football. How's he going to deal with it? It's early on in this game, but Dave, he hasn't just passed the test so far. He's aced the test.
There were some comparisons made by some of the Pitt folks to Kenny Pickett and what he meant to this Pitt program in terms of leadership and confidence. Nice catch that time by Turner. He took a shot from Rawls on that errant throw. And another 4-yard gain to put him in 3rd and short.
It's good concentration on Turner just to be able to corral this pass and bring it in. But a big shot delivered here by Rawls, putting Turner to the turf.
And you'd have to think they're in 4-down territory based on what we saw on the first drive, where they went for it on 4th down and won 3 times and converted each time. It's 3rd and 2 if they snap it here before the end of the quarter. They were going to, it appeared, but ran out of time. 1 quarter in the books in Tallahassee.
Dave?
And Taylor, to start the 2nd quarter, they have a 3rd down and 2 at the 36 of Florida State. On the option, it's a shovel pass to the tight end Overman. 1st down to the 24 for a gain of 12.
I love the play design here. Very well done. Little shovel pass, pull the guard to get out in front and bring the tight end across. Well set up. Just Reid working outside, draws the attention of the defense, and flip that back inside for a nice 3rd down pickup.
Heintschel taking a shot, got a man, and it's caught for a touchdown by Desmond Reid. Another gorgeous toss by the true freshman quarterback Mason Heintschel. And Reid, back from injury in a big way, gives Pitt the lead back. Fifth touchdown pass in Heintschel's 2nd start. Reid, who's an excellent receiver out of the backfield, gets his first receiving touchdown of 2025 after missing the last 2 games due to injury. And Butkowski makes it 14-7 Panthers.
Well, Desmond Reid is a weapon, one of the best weapons in the ACC and in college football. And he gives confidence to everybody. We're going to see a little motion and him work out. And they know they've got the matchup. They've got Desmond Reid on Elijah Herring. They're going to take that matchup all day long. And a great pass over the top to allow Desmond Reid to go up and get it. And a 2nd touchdown on as many drives with this Pitt offense. And Mason Heintschel, 10 of 11, 116, and that touchdown.
Coaching staff, they said it was the players. They said that they knew from the teammates of Mason Heintschel that he was the guy and that they believed in him enough to take the risk to make him the starter last week.
Yeah, even talking with Kyle Lewis this week. Deep, you can see why this coaching staff was so high on this young player.
Usman Kroma on 1st down gets 7 yards to start this drive for Florida State. Taylor?
Well, I've been really impressed with what I've seen from Mason Heintschel here on the sideline as a freshman quarterback. Guys, I'm not sure I've ever seen a leader as vocal as he is. He talks to the coaches and immediately goes and talks to all position groups.
All right, Taylor. Meanwhile, a wide receiver screen to Danzy, and he comes up short of the line to gain, so it'll bring up 3rd down here for Florida State.
But it's an important 3rd down here for Florida State. I mean, this offense is going to have to continue to match Pitt. They got a big physical offensive line. We've talked about it's a good Pitt run defense, but they're undersized. Be surprised if we don't see them run downhill at them and try to utilize that size advantage they have up front.
Castellanos may not have been ready for the snap. Throws a deep ball into traffic. Knocked away, but another flag. This will be the 2nd pass interference on Pittsburgh. Unless they're going to say that there was a push-off downfield from Robinson. But there was a pass interference in the 1st quarter on Rashad Battle.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense. Offside, number 3, penalties decline. Pass interference defense, that penalty's accepted, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
So that was Harrison. They got handsy with Robinson downfield.
Rasheed Ball is going to jump off sides initially, right? They're going to draw him off sides. And so Thomas Castellanos knows I got a free play, take a shot downfield to my big target, and it draws the 15 yards. Second time now on third down, pass interference against Pitt down the field on passes to Deuce Robinson.
And an easy call. You saw the arm hook there from Harrison committing the penalty. Back to the ground game. And Isaiah Neal, who's back out there after getting banged up at the end of the first quarter, makes the hit on Sawchuk. Gain of 1.
I was impressed watching Isaiah Neal on film. You know, he plays D tackle. They had to move him out to defensive end. He's, quick enough to play the edge. He's physical enough to play inside. Got some versatility. But I love the high motor and a nice job there on first down.
Blitz coming. It's picked up. Castellanos finds a man. It's caught on the sideline by Robinson, just short of a first down. 3rd and 2. And what you could argue would be the most important game of the Mike Norvell era, just given what's happened the last couple of years. And after beating Alabama, the back-to-back losses, an 0-2 start in ACC play, 7 straight conference losses going back to last September. And with second effort, they still don't get the first down. Sawchuk tackled short of the line to gain.
I expect the offense to stay on the field here on 4th and short. As you touched on there, Dave, an unbelievably important game for Mike Norvell, for this football team.
And they got Brock Glenn here, Dustin, coming in at quarterback. Not sure if there's something wrong with Castellanos or this is just a quarterback run here with Glenn because he's a little bigger, but Castellanos is a better runner. They've moved the sticks downfield. They're saying first down, but the marker says 4th down. The sticks are off compared to the down marker on the field.
Of the runner gaining a first down is under further review.
Well, initially they said he was short. The chain gang says it's a first down, but the guy that's in control of the down marker says it's 4th down. And shortly we'll bring in our ACC Game Day Operations Center in Charlotte, led by Al Riveron, the ACC coordinator of football officials, and our referee Riley Johnson.
We don't have any. I'm trying to find anything down the line.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll start the process. The ruling on the field is the runner made the line to gain.
Correct.
For a first down.
Right. We're looking at this again. You can see him on you're going to see him over. There's nothing directly down the line, so there's nothing to overturn. You got A. What's A? Anything good? Same shot. It's the 50 again.
All right, this is the same angle. We're all in agreement. The ruling on the field is upheld.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, replay. The ruling on the field is upheld. Thank
Correct.
you. Thank you.
Down. Thank you.
So there was clearly confusion at first whether he got the first down or more.
The field is upheld. First down.
Again, the down marker was different than the chain gang, so clearly there was some miscommunication. But as you heard, the call on the field was first down, and not enough video evidence to overturn it in that situation.
I just want to say thank you to the ACC on being the model for how we should get a chance to have the access to look at these replays, so people at home, so ourselves, can see the process that they go through to uphold these calls, overturn these calls. It's been awesome all season, and it should be something we see all throughout college football.
Castellanos back in now, back to throw. He'll take a shot into double coverage. Incomplete. Again, going deep for Deuce Robinson. This time did not get a defensive pass interference.
McIntyre got safety help over the top, throwing into double coverage, but look, even when Deuce Robinson is covered, he's open. 6'6" long. He has been so good with contested catches, 8 contested catches coming into this ball game. And I think just from a confidence standpoint, he's taken a huge step here this season.
Keziah Holmes, nice jump cut in the hole. Inside the 40 before he's pushed back. So a gain of about 5 for Holmes, who has the Florida State touchdown in the first quarter.
Deuce Robinson checks back in. Near side of your field. The go-to guy for Tommy Castellanos.
He's been targeted 4 times already if you include the 2 DPI calls on Pitt. Here comes an end around, and Pitt read it beautifully. Kyle Lewis with the takedown of Danzy back near midfield.
They love to get Micahi Danzy the ball on the perimeter, but watch the savvy veteran, one of the best linebackers in college football. Kyle Lewis off the edge, works inside, and a sure tackler, negating the speedster Danzy from having any chance to get to the perimeter. Huge third down play for Pitt.
So first punt of the game. Max Cimento punted 4 times last week after just 4 punts in his first 4 games. Kenny Johnson waiting for it inside his 10, and he decides to field it on his 1-yard line. Signaled for the fair catch. That ball looked like it was going to cross the plate if he lets it go. Instead decides to field it around his 3. Mistake that time.
The decision by Kenny Johnson, who's been really good as the punt returner so far this season. Bad decision there, putting Heintschel in a tough spot.
Another challenge for the true freshman. He's met all the other ones and makes a smart play here. Just taking off as he was being pressured by James Williams and gets to the 5.
Well, you don't typically see any quarterback, let alone a freshman. He takes his drop at about 7 yards in the end zone. Sees some space there along the offensive line and a decent pickup to give him a little bit of breathing room.
Pitt playing without starting left tackle as well. Jeff Percy was injured last week against BC. Kendall Stanley, who the coaches like a lot, replaces him. From the end zone, Heintschel tried to dump it off and misfired, trying to hit Desmond Reid, bring it up 3rd down.
This is a very important 3rd down. With Tony White, the new defensive coordinator, came in. It was a huge hire in the offseason to bring him from Nebraska, and they were outstanding the first 2 games of the season, first 3 games of the season, and it's changed the last couple of games. The defense has not come up with a stop so far in this game. They need a stop right here.
Losses to Virginia and Miami back-to-back for Florida State.
Mentioning Desmond Reid out.
Yeah, empty backfield for Heintschel on 3rd down and 6. Heintschel with time, takes off, a ton of green in front of him, and Heintschel dives to the 22. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, they spread it out and they create a bunch of space. 5 out. Right here, Nicholson, he's going to be the spy guy, but he goes the wrong way. Green grass out in front, a huge pickup.
There you go with some tempo. Desmond Reid with the 1st down carry, and he gets 3 yards.
Well, you've got to find a way to get a stop if you're Florida State in that spot. 3rd down, you're backed up. You got a linebacker who's spying the quarterback and takes a bad angle. Misread, opens up green grass, and once again, Mason Heintschel just playing at such a high level.
Reid has some room off the right side. Scoots out, though, at the 29. 4 more yards. They're actually going to give him the 31. They say he got an additional 2 yards by sticking the ball out, so it's 3rd down and a yard.
Ryan Bear with a good block off the right side. You've seen so far today 3 of 6 on 3rd down for Pitt, but probably the more notable number, 3 for 3 on 4th down. This Florida State rush defense was taking a big step in the wrong direction these last couple of games.
Blitz coming up the middle. Heintschel sacked back inside the 20-yard line. Mandrell Desir and Juice Cryer get to the quarterback.
Well, I was loving this true freshman, Mandrell Desir. He's got a twin brother, Daryl Desir, as well. Watch him work here, and then they're going to bring the backer as well, and both are able to get home in a much-needed stop for this defense. Desir just unblocked. Good timely blitz by Cryer. Got to have a play for Florida State's defense, and they come up with a big stop.
Jungo just got the punt away. Florida State was awfully close to blocking that. Lucas backed away, and it takes a sideways bounce, and Pitt will down it around the Florida State 38-yard line. Lifted by the abiding strength and support. Florida State with the ball. Chrome on first down. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it with more on Ethan Pritchard. Let's check in with Taylor.
Dave, Coach Norvell told me they rearranged everyone's schedules to make sure the entire team could be there when Pritchard left the hospital. He described that moment as incredibly moving. It's been really hard for this Florida State team in the middle of the battle of Pritchard, and they've been FaceTiming with him nearly every night, so a huge special moment yesterday.
Yeah, and this pass is dumped off near midfield for a first down to Marquiston Douglas. Ethan's father talked this week openly about how great Mike Norvell has been, checking in every single day with Ethan and his family.
It was just such an unexpected tragedy and great news to see him get a chance to go home.
Castellanos ran into his own man twice and then finally gets tackled and fumbled the ball. Jimmy Scott was the man that forced the fumble. And
Jacob Rizzi
Florida State's got the ball.
Yeah.
So a loss on the play still of about 6 yards.
Well, this is why you never give up on a play. Jimmy Scott's just going to keep coming and never quit. Tommy Castellanos looking, trying to buy time. Jimmy Scott just continues with the play, punches that ball out, and really heads up effort by the right tackle, Jacob Rizzi, to get on top of that football. Boy, Castellanos will carry that ball. He keeps it out really wide. Loose with the football, and Jimmy Scott knocks it loose.
They'll run it here. And it's Keziah Holmes crossing midfield, getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Castellanos has had turnover problems in the last 2 games, both losses. 2 interceptions thrown against Virginia, 2 picks against Miami. He cut down on his turnovers last year at Boston College after 14 interceptions 2 years ago. He had just 5 last year, but already 5 this year, and almost had a lost fumble.
He's Robinson up in the boundary. Love back shoulders, comebacks to him outside.
Pressure up the middle. It's a screen to Sawchuk, and Sawchuk's got the first down. Stumbled, otherwise he might still be going. As it is, a gain of 16 for Florida State.
It's outstanding job blocking on the outside. Gunnar Hansen and then the receiver, Wayne McCoy, to help spring that pickup on 3rd down.
Florida State going with tempo. Castellanos setting up the deep ball, and the ball is caught for a touchdown by Danzy. Micahi Danzy with his first receiving touchdown. He's got 3 rushing scores this year, and a point after away now for Florida State to tie the game. After the near giveaway, Castellanos bounces back with a home run ball pulled in by Danzy, and the point after from Weinberg.
Well, the speed of Danzy we talked about earlier. He's going to be a deep post, and watch this safety, Marquez. He's going to look inside, going to get caught up with the underneath route, takes 1 step inside, opens up that post, and a dime delivered to tie this thing up in Tally. Here at Doak Campbell Stadium. Looks awesome. We had a chance to go check out the new football complex. It's about to open up. They have really upgraded the facilities. It is a special place here in Tallahassee around this Florida State program.
Wind blows the ball off the tee for a 3rd time.
Maybe you can run down there and hold it for him next time. I bet you'd make a perfect kicking holder.
That was about all I was good for as a football player.
Hey, you got to be good at something. You know, everyone's got a role.
It's a necessary skill on a windy day on the gridiron.
That's right.
Another touchback for Florida State. Here's Matt. Along those lines, Matt, let me ask you, Dusty, how convinced are you that Ole Miss is a national title contender?
I'm not there yet. Look, I think the Trinidad Chambliss story has been awesome, incredible, from Ferris State to now the starting quarterback. But I think when you look at that schedule, there's some potential road mines up ahead. I think they get past Washington State today, but Georgia, Oklahoma coming up soon is going to really test them.
And here's a little trickery, a flea flicker. Heintschel just has to check it down out in space to Williams. And he stiff arms the defender. And it's a gain of about 6 on first down.
Well defended down the field. They wanted to try to see if they could catch Florida State sleeping on the flea flicker. And you're going to see, go ahead and roll it, guys. Just good coverage down the field. They got two receivers down the field vertical. You see right here, both guys getting good coverage. You got to check it down. It's smart, though, by Heintschel not to take the shot. Just take what the defense gives you, and a nice pickup on first down.
They run it, and what a play that time. Backside by Jabril Rawls on the tackle of the running back to bring up third down. Here's Taylor.
Coaches have to be pleased with that because the conversation on the sideline, Dave, is how do you better stop Desmond Reid? And the message is you cannot let him get out into space. You need to get right up on him and tackle him.
Yeah, he's been a factor in both the run game and the pass game. 3 catches already in his first game back after missing the last 2 due to injury. Check that 4 receptions for Reid. Now it's third down and 5 for Pitt after Florida State just tied the game. Heintschel flushed out of the pocket, hoists it deep in the double coverage, and it's intercepted. Earl Little Jr. comes up with the pick. Heintschel's first career interception and the second of the year for Little.
But now the young freshman going to make a mistake here. Rolling to his left, taking a shot. Earl Little Jr., that center field safety, reading the quarterback, mirroring him, and going up top, high-pointing this football, and getting a big takeaway for this Noles defense. Excellent job by Earl Little Jr., who was looking for a bounce-back spot. Didn't have his best game against Miami. Early on the opening possession, we saw him miss a tackle, but a big takeaway here, and Florida State a chance to regain the lead.
Sawchuk on the delay, in trouble in the backfield. Nice play by Biles, who's back out there after being injured earlier. And now a late flag is thrown. You mentioned the mistake by Heintschel. He had only one real mistake prior to that. That was on a bad pitch that, luckily for him, was recovered on the ground by an offensive lineman.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness offense. Number 0. 15-yard penalty, actually half the distance to the goal line. The down counts, second down.
Deuce Robinson was getting into it with Biles. That'll back Florida State up inside its 10.
They always find the last aggressor. I think it actually might be the 15 battle. Kind of pushing and shoving back and forth. Late, it's at the very end of this play. It's going to come in. Battle's going to give him a little shove, and Deuce Robinson is nothing egregious.
Till the end.
A love tap there on the face, draws the flag.
Isaiah Holmes tried to get the corner and ran out of room on the boundary, stepping out at the 11. So a short gain. Brings up third down and long for Florida State. Nearing 2.5 to go. Florida State with all of its timeouts. They'll also get the benefit of the 2-minute official timeout, but they will have to snap it one more time here, and that will help Pitt, which has 2 timeouts remaining. Castellanos, wide receiver screen to Danzy, who had the touchdown catch, and he gets dropped at the 16-yard line by Neal to bring up 4th down.
Well, they're going more to the screen game. Last possession, there was 2 screens that they utilized. They go back to it, but the Pitt defense ready and comes up with a stop on 3rd down.
You know a little something about Red River.
Just a little something, Dave Pash.
What was your record against Texas?
3-1.
Can't believe you lost that game.
They had Vince Young.
Cemento, and it's blocked by Pitt. They're going to have the ball around the 26-yard line. Josh Gurrier got back to the punter, Cemento.
Boy, he just comes scot-free, Dave, right here, up the gut. No one accounts for him. No one touches him. And boy, right here before half, Mason Heintschel is going to get a chance to operate in prime real estate. Just a bust and a breakdown. Protection of that punt.
So Pitt will have the ball at the 26-yard line, and they'll go empty on 1st down. And that's Reid, the motion man, and that's where the ball's going. Reid gets popped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1. So we got a timeout. Dave Pash, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor. And if you're Mike Norvell and Pat Narduzzi, you got to be pleased.
Could give them a lot of momentum going into half. They get the ball coming out in the second.
And they want the ball again here in the 1st half because they just used one of their timeouts to stop the clock. Heintschel has running room again. He throws the defender downfield, and that allowed him to get inside the 20. A gain of 7. 3rd down coming up. Another timeout first.
Well, this is just smart by Mason Heintschel. Big space opens up on the left side. This offensive line is a 3-man rush. And as he is the top of his break, you freeze right there. Look at all that green grass out in front. He sees it. He's going to pick up. Nice chunk. Set up 3rd. Very manageable. The late rally to the football by Florida State. It's just smart quarterbacking by a young player. Nothing there down the field. Don't force anything where it doesn't need to go, and get a nice pickup on 2nd down.
Another big Saturday on ESPN and ABC, including, as we mentioned, Oklahoma, Texas, and Georgia, Auburn tonight. 7:30 Eastern time. Jordan Hare.
Really like to see them try to get the ball in the hands of 0 Desmond Reid, the playmaker for this offense. Such a matchup problem on the backfield.
On the rollout, Heintschel. And another interception. Picked off by Edwin Joseph. And out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Back-to-back picks by the true freshman.
You cannot do this if you're Mason Heintschel. This is well covered down the field. He's trying to get to 3. Blue Hicks. Just excellent coverage in the end zone by Edwin Joseph. He undercuts this route. And a massive, massive interception for Florida State.
You saw Kenny Johnson, the underneath receiver, fall down as well, but it did look like the ball was going to that deeper receiver.
And Kenny Johnson, he was running it out, and he broke it off and tried to get vertical, but Mason Heintschel was locked in on Hicks, and just an outstanding individual play by Joseph.
1 timeout left and 1:26 to work with. Florida State from its 12. Castellanos. Everybody covered. Long throw. And it's Danzy again making the catch and breaking free. What a great job by Danzy getting away from 2 defenders and a gain of 23.
Well, Danzy is maybe the fastest player in the ACC. The ACC 400-meter record holder with 44.38. If he gets out in open space, we saw him hit the vertical shot of the deep post earlier, and once he eluded that tackler, boy, he is dangerous.
Got out of bounds inside 2 minutes. Clock does not run until the snap. Catch is made by Deuce Robinson, brought down at the 39. Gain of 4. 1 timeout left for Florida State. Now Robinson shaken up. That'll cost the Noles their last timeout with 1:02 to go. Deuce Robinson, who's been their best receiver. About 23 passes on the year coming in. He's a legacy player. His dad Dominic played here at Florida State. He was targeted a couple times early in the game on deep balls. Both times Pitt committed pass interference to keep the Florida State drive going.
We had a chance to talk with Deuce earlier this week, and such a delightful young man. You could tell, just so excited to be here. Was praising Gus Malzahn, how much he's learned, how much he's grown this year, the confidence he's playing with right now. Just hope that this isn't any kind of major injuries. Such a big, important piece of this Florida State offense, and just a player that's continued to get better and better.
And trying to walk it off under his own power here. You hear Deuce chants from the crowd at Doak Campbell.
He's got a pro body, 6'6", 223. Marquez comes in, catches him right on that right leg. Good to see him walk off, Dave.
Player that qualifies for a 10-second runoff. Game clock operator, let's put 1:03 on the game clock and remove 10 seconds. Set it for 53 seconds, and it will start on my signal.
So electing not to use the timeout there to avoid the 10-second runoff, rather keep the timeout and lose the 10 seconds because of the injured player. With the clock stopped, 2nd and 6 now at the 39. Castellanos has to step up and take off. And he's tackled close to the line to gain at the 44-yard line. Not a first down, so the clock is running. Again, the guys with the sticks are wrong. The chain gang is off, and that confused their own team. Florida State went a little slower, thinking it was going to stop. Sawchuk gets the first down here, though, and now the clock will stop with 28 seconds to go to reset the chains.
Look at downhill run and a way to finish off that by Sawchuk.
Castellanos back to throw. And now throws it over the middle, complete inside the 30. Elijah Moore on the catch, down to the 25 with 18 seconds left.
This is good patience by Castellanos, moving to his right, having patience, waiting, and finding Moore come open.
And now Pitt will call a timeout, try to set the defense. Florida State will hold on to its last timeout, 15 seconds left.
And they're getting down on the depth chart. I mean, Squirrel White out today. The talented freshman Javen Boggs out today. We talked from the onset, Randy Pittman Jr., such a key piece at tight end, both in the run game and in the pass game. He is out today, and Deuce Robinson just came off on this drive, so we're seeing other guys step up. That's a big, important play from Elijah Moore, just his 3rd catch of the season.
And how about the play of Tommy Castellanos? Give him some flowers. 9 of 10, 119 yards and a touchdown, regardless of who he's throwing to. He's been effective.
Been very effective, Dave. And doing exactly what's asked of him. Boy, this would be such a turn of events. Florida State can cash in here after a block punt. Looked like maybe Pitt could take a lead into halftime. They get the takeaway, and now quickly on the move with 17 seconds and a timeout in their pocket.
And Deuce Robinson going back to the locker room. Ball on the 25-yard line of Pitt. Four-man rush. Castellanos loves it and just threw it out of play. Don't think he was throwing it away. Looked like a miscommunication with a receiver. 12 seconds to go here in the half.
Elijah Moore is going to run a post, and clearly miscommunication. Tommy Castellanos thought he was going to break an out-cutting route. And just receiver quarterback on 2 different pages.
Their kicker Jake Weinberg's long this year is 45. He's not allowed a kick return this year. He's got plenty of legs, so they're definitely in field goal range for him. From here, about a 43-yard attempt. Pressure off the edge. Castellanos trying to avoid the sack and throws it up for grabs, and it's caught for a touchdown. Landon Thomas bails out Castellanos to put FSU in front with 6 seconds to go. Castellanos with 2 touchdowns here in the first half. A little bit of an answered prayer on the last one to Landon Thomas, and it's 21-14.
We talked about guys being out, so other players got to step up. Kyle Lewis is going to come off the edge unaccosted. How about Tommy Castellanos making one of the best linebackers in the country miss? He reverses out. As you said, he throws up a prayer, but he's got Landon Thomas, his tight end, his 6'4", who's big, who goes up, great position to body off that defender, line him, and come down with a big touchdown catch here before halftime. Tommy Castellanos, 10 of 12 in that first half, 8 of his last 9, 1/3 Moore's third, and Tommy Castellanos, regardless of who's out there, he's dealing and he's making plays for this offense. That's the response Mike Norvell wanted to see from his football team. He saw it in the fourth quarter against Miami. 28-3 going in the fourth quarter. They continue to fight. They continue to show some resiliency and resolve. And he thought that was a real positive leaving last week, heading into today. Down early here. The defense gets the takeaway, and the offense able to pay it off with that touchdown.
Would imagine after the back-to-back turnovers, Pitt would just take a knee here and go into halftime with 6 seconds to go.
I agree. Take a knee, go back, reconvene, and you're going to have to settle down your quarterback. Because you got to start to wonder between the ears what's going through Mason Heintschel's mind as he goes in to halftime. Last 2 possessions, we've seen him turn the ball over, and that was the big mistakes that Eli Holstein was making that allowed Heintschel this opportunity.
Right, that's why they benched Holstein. They're just going to keep it on the ground with Desmond Reid. And he gets out of bounds. There's a flag down. Holding on Pitt, and see if Mike Norvell just declines it and we go to halftime.
Holding, offense number 87, penalties decline.
So 14 unanswered points by Florida State here in the second quarter to take a 7-point lead into the locker room, trying to end a 2-game skid and win their first 8.
Get him back out.
And so Pat Narduzzi and half the Pitt teams in the tunnel are going to have to come back out and put 11 men on the field here for one more snap. And Norvell now is going to
prolong this first half.
Reid. And hand fighting on the sideline with a defender, and Reid throws. Rawls out of play there, and a little extracurricular activity. How about the strength that time of Desmond Reid flipping Rawls. And there is a penalty flag. He's got his jersey. It didn't look like he had his face mask there. Just a strong play by Reid. They're saying face mask, but it did not look like he had his face mask, not at the end maybe. Perhaps earlier on the possession. Now they're saying face mask the other way. Perhaps on both guys. Can we just go to halftime?
You're just hungry. You just want your sandwich.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 11. That penalty is accepted. 15-yard penalty. The half will be extended for one in-timeout.
So again, the initial signal was towards Pitt, and it did not look like Reid had the face mask. They get Rawls for the face mask, so maybe, I don't know if you can get the ball thrown far enough, but chance perhaps to maybe throw a deep one, a Hail Mary down near the 25. And even if you get a pass interference call, it's a 15-yard penalty, probably too far for a kick, but you get another shot at a Hail Mary. In other words, we might be here for a while. Not just going to keep it on the ground. Reid breaks a tackle, still going, and finally it's Rawls that gets into the ground, and another flag. If that's on Rawls and Florida State, that could put the ball now in field goal range. Wow. Because that would put it down near the 35. Their kicker, Butkowski's made a 47-yarder this year.
But Desmond Reid just so tough to tackle. We saw the strength on the previous play. Unwilling to go down, and important call pending here.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 56. That foul will be carried over and administered on the kickoff in the second half.
It's only 2 incompletions, so as many touchdowns as incompletions. Heintschel got off to a good start, but then the back-to-back kicks. Because of the penalty by Pitt, they had to kick from the 20. And here's Lucas on the return, going to give Florida State very good field position up to the 44-yard line. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor. Well, Florida
tight end, not in this football game today. Randy Pittman wasn't able to go. But Tommy Castellanos making plays when his team needs him the most, especially that last touchdown. He had Kyle Lewis, free hitter, spins out and just makes a play.
Run play, Chroma on first down. And thrown out of play after a gain of a couple. Let's check in with Taylor.
Dave, I asked Pat Narduzzi what he told Mason Heintschel at half, and he said, I didn't have to tell him anything regarding the picks. He actually came to me and said, Coach, I have to do a better job of protecting the football. And then defensively, he said, I was really pleased with the way we were able to stop the run, but he said we have to be better against bigger plays. And he flat out called out Kyle Lewis and said he should have made that play to prevent Florida State from scoring that touchdown late into the second quarter, Dave.
And that's what Dusty just mentioned as well, Taylor. 83 rushing yards for Florida State, but it was Castellanos through the air that did more damage than the ground game. Here he's in trouble. His arm is hit, and they're saying a forward pass. Lovelace had the pressure. It's incomplete. 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Lovelace kind of on a delayed blitz does a really nice job finding a crease. He's going to start here and then work his way back. Get this hit on Tommy Castellanos when he starts to deliver this pass. Really nice job by Lovelace, forcing the errant throw there by Tommy Castellanos.
And Pitt's going to need more of that. They're in the top 10 in sacks, hits, tackles for a loss. Did not get a ton of pressure in the first half.
Just 2 tackles for loss for a team that averaged over 9 a game.
Castellanos to the air, in trouble again, and he's able to escape. And finally goes down to the ground. Wow. Some incredible moves as he juked several Pitt defenders. Eventually, they got him down, 4th down.
Well, this is really good pressure. It's coming from everywhere. Tommy Castellanos does a good job initially of avoiding the pressure. It's Lovelace once again on a blitz. Then he makes Biles miss. Then he makes Neal miss and ultimately loses his footing. And Really good opening possession for Randy Bates' defense, and Pat Narduzzi likes what he sees.
Cimento to punt. His last punt was blocked, but Pitt turned it over. Did not come away with points despite starting inside the Florida State 30-yard line. And the fair catch made by Kenny Johnson at the 15 after a 46-yard boot.
Well, it was a dream start for the true freshman Mason Heintschel, making his first ever road start. It was a lot of good. With his legs, making defenders miss, keeping his eyes downfield. Great matchup here. Desmond Reid on a linebacker delivers it up in the air where his guy can make a play, but then it's late. Just throws the football down the field. That one like a punt. This one can't happen. Red zone interception. It's 3rd and 2. Know the situation. He takes a shot. And it was an interception by Edwin Joseph. You know, Eli Holstein had 3 red zone interceptions. Part of what cost him his job, that a costly interception at the end of that first half, Dave.
Desmond Reid runs the ball on 1st down and gains 7. And at some point, you knew Heintschel was going to commit a mistake. True freshman, you said it, first road start. He was near perfect last week. You just can't have them in the red zone there, and after he'd already thrown one when you're giving away points. But they are going to ride with Heintschel no matter what. They told us yesterday, even though Holstein has a lot of starts under his belt, even if Heintschel struggles, the coaches believe he's their guy. In trouble is Reid in the backfield, cannot get away from James Williams. A loss on the play of about 3.
Well, James Williams going to play this perfect. Get in the backfield, make Heintschel make a decision on the inside Reid zone. He gives it to Desmond Reid, and James Williams all over it. Has really worked on that run-stopping aspect of his game. One of the better pass rushers for Florida State, coming up with a nice play on 2nd down.
Florida State trying to end a 7-game ACC losing streak. Back-to-back losses this season. Had the win over Alabama, but losses to Virginia and Miami, trying to get their season back on track, and they give up a long play. Desmond Reid is free inside the 40, and they finally get to him at the 30-yard line. A big pickup, 3rd and 6, and it's a 49-yard gain.
Well, they're going to motion him over and watch him just work in space. He's going to start out and work back in. The motion, they know this is zone coverage. Desmond Reid's going to do a really good job sitting down in that zone, that soft spot. Mason Heintschel wisely gets the ball to 0, and you see the speed in the open field after the catch.
Over 100 receiving yards for Reid. He's a running back, and he did that 3 times a year ago. Now it's Boozy Turner, true freshman, who had a touchdown in the first quarter. There's a flag down as he is dropped after a pickup of 5. Looked like Florida State got a hand upstairs there towards the face mask. Andrell Desir
grabbing the face mask. Defense number 93. The penalty is half the distance to the goal line. Automatic 1st down.
True freshman Mandrell Desir. We saw him earlier with a sack in the first half. Right here, top of your screen. It's that right hand and the face mask of Coretta.
Yeah, you had both, right? You had that player talking about, and then you had the tug at the mask of the running back. 1st down inside the 15. Pump fake. Heintschel in trouble, and he gets walloped back at the 16 for a sack. A.J. Cottrell. Loss of 3.
But it's Lyons that really makes this play from the interior. Watch him work on the inside. He's just never going to give up on the play. It's a force inside to the 3-man rush. Good coverage down the field. Good job applying the pressure and getting Heintschel to the ground.
Tony White, first-year defensive coordinator, spent the last 2 years at Nebraska. Syracuse before that. 2nd and 14. One-on-one coverage, a back shoulder throw, and it's incomplete. Kenny Johnson wants a flag for interference, but won't get it on Shamar Arnu.
Boy, Arnu, there was a lot of pulling and shoving. Watch Arnu work. We haven't called Johnson's name. I mean, he tugs a jersey and pulls back. I think Kenny Johnson I think he's got quite the gripe there on that.
I'm with you. That's a miss by this crew. 3rd down and 14.
True freshman working out there in Arnu. Didn't just get the grab, but he also had a pull as Johnson went to the ground. Better locate 0. Desmond Reid is in the backfield.
Heintschel in trouble. Gets away from one man. Keeps the play alive, throwing into the end zone for the touchdown. He finds Desmond Reid alone in the end zone. What a play by the True Frosh. And what a bounce back after the 2 interceptions at the end of the first half.
Well, it's going to be McCray that's going to come clean. Very similar to the play we saw from Castellanos. The edge player is going to come clean. Heintschel feels this pressure, going to work away. Now watch Des Reid just continue to find space. Works to that open grass, and then Heintschel almost sidearm, flips it over the defender, and hits his running back in the back of the end zone.
Castellanos did it in the first half, and now it's Heintschel dropping the arm angle. The point after ties the game at 21.
Well, it's a rough way to end the first half for the true freshman Mason Heintschel. An interception going to half and a touchdown coming out of half. We're all tied up. Down for Pitt.
Heintschel's second touchdown pass of the day, 6th of the season. Touchback on the ensuing kickoff. There's a penalty flag, but let's first tell you about what we've got on Sunday.
In a couple nights.
Kickoff actually went out of bounds, so great starting field position here for Florida State on the 35-yard line. And a pass play to start this drive to Danzy, who had a touchdown grab in the first half. Targeted a lot by Castellanos here today, and he gets close to a first down.
They found success with the screen game. He's going to be outside, good blocking on the perimeter. A couple times it worked well in the first half, and a nice gain there on first down.
Castellanos again to Danzy on the screen, and a first down out to midfield. Do not see Deuce Robinson yet for Florida State. He got hurt at the end of the first half. Let's get an update from Taylor.
Yeah, Dave, he is still in the locker room, and I am told he is questionable to return. So this Florida State receiving corps depleted in this game.
Absolutely. And Randy Pittman, who's Their top tight end, and really part of everything they do in the pass and run game, is out. Tried to warm up, could not go. Has not played in this game. Chroma trying to turn it back upfield. And Chroma's got first down. And the true freshman carries defenders with him. Down to the 30-yard line.
It's a really good job off the left side. Gunnar Hansen, Richie Leonard. Watch these guys doing work, and it's going to open up a crease that you're going to see Chroma hit downhill, the fastest, most explosive of these Florida State running backs. Good yards after contact. The freshman refusing to go down, Dave.
He started against Miami at only 6 carries, lost a fumble in that game last week, in the loss here against the Hurricanes. Chroma again. Hard to get to the ground at 218. Down to the 22. Got about 7 or 8 there. Florida State is playing 5 of its first 6 games at home. The one road game in Virginia, double overtime loss. They'll go to Stanford next week. Still has to go to Clemson and Florida in the rivalry game at the end of the year. Sidearm throw behind Jalen Lucas. And it's going to be close to a first down at the 19.
Lucas, one of those players stepping in, going to play more receiver. We've seen a running back. They just like to get him the ball on the perimeter, on the edge. So elusive, and he gets enough to move the sticks.
Back to Chroma between the tackles. Dumped after a pickup of 2. Braylon Lovelace on the stop.
They had the big chunk run the first half from Gavin Sawchuk, but this is some of the better running we've seen in this ball game from Florida State. Again, with Gus Malzahn there, they have gotten back to what Mike Norvell wants to do, a running football team. They had their struggles last season. They've been very good so far this season, but against a Pitt defense that really challenges you against the run, they've been held in check for a lot of today.
Keziah Holmes pinballs off defenders. There's a penalty marker down. I was going to say, Dusty, even the pass plays on this drive look like run plays. Just screens trying to get out of Castellanos' hand quickly as there's an injured Florida State offensive lineman. Richie Leonard, their left guard. They're already without Micah Pettis, their right tackle.
10-yard penalty. Second down.
And Luke Pettibone commits the penalty. We'll take a look at Leonard. And we'll keep an eye on who comes in to replace him, because again, they're down bodies on the O-line.
Us to locate the quarterback after interception. I located the quarterback, Dave.
Did you get flagged? Here is Douglas on the tight end dump off, and on 2nd and 16 he gets about half of it. 3rd down.
Never let facts get in the way of a good story, Dave. Yes, I would say announcer Dusty today, some 20+ years later, would have a little bit different feel for Sooner Dusty as a player in 02.
Where's the long blonde hair? I don't see it there on the cover of Sooner Illustrated.
Started to flow later in my career. Was nothing like putting on that gold hat. The winner, that's the prize at the end of the game. It's going to be a fun one today with Texas needing a win.
Sawchuk on 3rd down and 5, in trouble and tackled for a loss of about 2 at the 16, and now Florida State will have to send on the field goal unit.
Well, that's a huge stop for this Pittsburgh defense. And Gavin Sawchuk just unable to find any space there. It's a really good job by the front of Pitt once again in a crucial spot, finding a way to create a negative play.
First field goal attempt for either team. Jake Weinberg from 34 yards. 5 of 6 on the season. Pitt blocked a punt in the first half, and they're very good at blocking kicks in general under Pat Narduzzi. They can't get to that one, and the kick is perfect from Weinberg to give Florida State a 3-point lead. Let's keep going on the Red River rivalry as we give you the Aflac trivia question. When was the last time the game was not played at Fair Park in Texas?
Well, there was a Big 12 championship that wasn't played there, but that's not Red River.
Correct.
This better not be a trick.
No, it's not. Regular season. Regular season. Red River rivalry.
I don't know. It predates me, Dave. I'm thinking going way back.
Yeah, it definitely predates you. Let's go ahead and answer the Affleck trivia question. The last time the Red River rivalry was not played at Fair Park in Texas. It was in Austin back in 1923.
Slightly before our time, Dave. And for anyone asking or wondering, no, the games should not be played home and home. It should stay right where it's at. It shouldn't move to Jerry World, that beautiful facility Jerry Jones has built. It should stay right there, State Fair, Texas, in the Cotton Bowl. There's nothing else like it in all of college football. And traditions, we're losing them by the day, by the year in college football. We got to hold on to some traditions, and that's one I do not want to see go anywhere.
I also can't imagine if you didn't say you thought it was the best rivalry in college football. You'd hear about that for years.
It's a pretty
if you
good,
didn't say that.
Another pretty good one tonight. How about the 130th time Georgia and Auburn have played? Pretty good one tonight. There, Jordan Hare.
Span, former Seminole, going to let that go over his head for another touchback. So Mason Heintschel, who's had an up and down second start, 18-year-old from Oregon, Ohio, grew up a Michigan fan. His dad played baseball at Michigan. He wasn't recruited by Michigan. He wasn't recruited by anybody, really. Pitt, Ohio, Liberty, and Bowling Green came on late. And the initial tape that was given to Pat Narduzzi on Mason Heintschel was all run plays. Mason's dad and mom are here, Cindy and Eric. And it was all run plays, and Pat Narduzzi said, no, we don't want him. And then Cade Bell, the offensive coordinator, was trying to push him, gave Narduzzi tape of his passing. After watching that tape, Narduzzi said, we need him here. And he's now replaced Eli Holstein as the starting quarterback as they run Turner on first down for minimal gain.
Went from thinking he was just a scrambler to recognizing the guy can get it done both on the move and from the pocket. It's a great identification by the 32-year-old offensive coordinator, Cade Bell, who's also the quarterback's coach on the field. They're on the sidelines, who calls the plays. He works with the quarterbacks in between each possession. He found Mason Heintschel, and the amount of belief they have in their young quarterback is immense.
Heintschel on second and long, takes off, and he's got a ton of room. Heading for the sideline, out of bounds at the 46, a gain of 20.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage outside. You're gonna play man-to-man coverage. You better have good pass rush lanes. Go ahead and roll it, guys. We're gonna freeze it as soon as Heintschel freeze it right there. Watch this lane open up here, and he's just gonna take it. He's gonna see it. There's no one to account for him down the field. Smart play and a big pickup.
Heintschel over the middle, complete. Inside the 35 is Williams. Wrestled to the ground at the 32. Another chunk play through the air. 22 more yards.
It's a good, clean pocket. Nice route by Poppy Williams. And a strong throw for another first down.
Heintschel taking off, being chased, and he got outside the pocket. I don't know if he got that back to the line of scrimmage, though. He was definitely outside the pocket.
Intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the box, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. It's second down.
It was awfully close, though, to it being intentional grounding.
Very, very close. Side judge right there on top of it. He's standing there watching the entire thing. 33 is the line of scrimmage. Ooh, I don't know, Dave.
It's got to get through the neutral zone.
Yeah,
it looked to be short.
It looked short to me.
And now they're stopping play.
The previous play of the quarterback being outside the box and the ball crossing the line of scrimmage is under further review.
And so we're going to bring in shortly the ACC Game Day Operations Center in Charlotte to hear that conversation about A, whether he got outside the pocket, and then B, whether the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. Our referee Riley Johnson, and back in Charlotte, Al Riveron, the ACC coordinator of football officials.
Yeah, correct. Right. Look at replay A.
right.
bounce there. That's the one I was just watching.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to change.
Not going to see that.
Yeah, not on this. So replay A doesn't show the ball. We cannot determine if that ball is at the 33 or not there. Or we're going to look at any other angles coming in to be able to see this. So not enough there to be able to do anything with this. So if these are our best angles at this point.
Is there anything coming in?
Okay, so we're looking at the program. At this point, I don't have anything to overturn. Do we all agree?
Yes.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
Agreed.
Perfect. Ruling on the field is upheld.
Thank you, guys.
So not enough video evidence again to overturn the ruling on the field.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Second down.
Got outside the pocket and close enough there to determine that they can't overrule that with video evidence. 2nd and 10. Keep in mind with Pitt down here that they went for it on 4th down 3 times in the first half. Long way to go still, but they're not yet in field goal range. 2nd and 10. Everybody covered. Heintschel in trouble, and he throws the ball forward as he was about to go to the ground, and it's an incomplete pass. Boy, he is very fortunate that he didn't get sacked. The question is where he threw the ball. Was there an offensive player around there other than the offensive lineman?
Watch
there goes the flag. It's going to be grounding.
Had to be grounding. It's Daryl Desir,
Attention to
the other
grounding.
twin brother.
Offense, number 6. It's a loss of down foul at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
I mean, it had to be, Dave. That's my question. Was his knee down whenever he was retreating? I think knee's down.
Yeah.
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
And Desir, just the other twin brother. These Desir brothers and those fans, this is the future of the Florida State defensive line. These two true freshmen, they've just continued to get better and better and better. You saw the power caving down that offensive line, giving Heintschel nowhere to go with the football.
It's a loss of 18, but I would imagine this will get looked at further. They're saying no. Regardless, 3rd and 28. It's basically where the spot was going to be anyway, with a penalty or the sack. Heintschel in trouble again. And he's just going to run. And this will allow the punter to try to pin Florida State deep.
I can tell you, as a former defensive lineman, it means a lot to the guy who should get the sack.
Okay, fair. Very fair.
Goes down the stat book as a penalty, and it sure appeared that it should have gone down as a sack. That's a good hold by that Florida State defense. Pitt was on the move there. Looked like they were well on their way in the scoring position. Good job getting after Mason Heintschel twice on that possession with a good pass rush.
LaWayne McCoy is deep for Florida State. And an excellent punt by Junko. Fair caught at the 6. Look at you with NBA preseason action underway. Tomorrow on ESPN as well. Keziah Holmes with a nice run on 1st down. Gets a 1st down. Castellanos has 2 touchdowns and 3 incompletions. And we touched on this at the start of the telecast. Against Alabama, 14 attempts. That's what the coaches want. Too many attempts last week. Part of that was, though, they got behind against Miami 28-3.
As long as the game is, plays the way that they want, Gus Malzahn wants to run the football, wants to keep the pass attempts at a minimal number.
Another run for Holmes through a crease at the 20, and then he gets drilled at the 22 by Baines Marquez, but it's a gain of 5.
A good job there. Landon Thomas, tight end, playing for Randy Pittman Jr.
Holmes to the perimeter, and he gets the 1st down. That relationship you mentioned goes back to 2007 when Norvell was a grad assistant for Gus. Well, what about you? You interested? And here we are a few months later. Another run play on first down to Holmes between the tackles. The 32-yard line for 4 yards.
And Coach Norvell told us it was a no focus on the players, focus on the coaching aspect of things instead of all the other things that you're tugged on as a head coach.
Final minute of the third quarter. Florida State up 3. Another handoff. Sawchuk as Florida State starts to lean on that lighter Pitt D-line. Short of a first down, though. Third down.
This is a roll your sleeves up, we're bigger, we're better than you type of drive. The way it started from their own 4, it's been all carries here on this drive. And this offensive line, as this game continues to wear on, they're really starting to lean on that undersized Pitt front.
They do have to snap it. About a 5-second difference in the clocks here at the end of the quarter on third down and a yard. And Sawchuk met in the hole, but did get the first down.
What it's all about. You got 15 minutes to go. Put your heart out there on display and get the job done.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
And Taylor, it's one of the most important games of the Norvell era as they run the ball for the 9th straight play. It's 7th straight on this drive. Sawchuk gets a couple yards. Florida State's last win in conference play was against Cal on September 21st of last year. Remember, that was coming off an undefeated regular season 2 years ago. They went 2-10 last year, started this year with a win over Alabama, but 2 straight losses to Virginia and Miami entering today.
They've shown the ability to be one of the best teams in college football, and now it's got everybody wondering, who are you really? We're going to find out a lot about this team here in this fourth quarter.
They'll keep it on the ground once again. Sawchuk make that Coma, bouncing it to the outside and getting a first down. The true freshman all the way down to the 43 of Pitt.
Well, I love this jump cut by Chroma. Showing a lot here. Just going to be blocking off the edge, and he's going to bounce this thing. Really good job of running. Landon Thomas with a key block to set it up, and the rest is the freshman showcasing that athleticism and that speed to the perimeter.
No pass plays yet on this possession.
Play action's coming at some point. They're going to take their shot.
Not here. Chroma looking for room. Stays in play. And then a flag comes down. Battle shoved the running back Chroma out of bounds. This is going to be on Florida State.
Offensive holding, number 67. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's on Richie Leonard, the left guard, who got hurt in the third quarter, but is back out there now. 6th penalty on FSU.
And able to stay in front of the chains. This might alter and change a little bit for this drive. They've been, just right on track, being able to run the football on first down, second down. Wonder if now we see Gus change his plan of action, backed up on 1st and 20.
Holmes finds a lane, but that hole closes at midfield. So just a 3-yard run, and the ball came out. Holmes lost the ball, and Pitt has it. A turnover at midfield by Florida State.
Wow, I did not see who punched that out, Dave. But potentially just a huge mistake by Holmes.
And coming out of there with it is Jasir Whittington, a D tackle. Freshman from Philadelphia.
Recovered by Pittsburgh. First down.
There's also an injured Panther. It's Braylon Lovelace. They're looking at his right leg. But it is Pitt ball at midfield. First giveaway by Florida State.
21 comes in, rakes this ball out. Harrison punches it out. We'll take a look on the other side. Fourth quarter to give his team a chance to take the lead.
He's got 2 touchdown passes, also 2 picks in his first road start. He gets hit, but he delivers to Desmond Reid. Reid inside the 25. And Reid finally brought down at the 14. Heintschel bounces up to his feet after getting drilled in the back that time by Rawls.
But they created the matchup they wanted. Desmond Reid on linebacker, A.J. Cottrell. And he's unable to stay with them. Linebacker on Desmond Reid is a terrible matchup. They've been exploiting it all throughout the course of this ball game.
And then Desmond Reid, you see him celebrating. He's hurt now. Let's check in with Taylor.
Dave, before this play, he was with trainers on the sideline pounding liquids. I actually saw him vomit on the sideline before going back out there on this play. So we'll keep an eye on him as he's down on the field right now.
Well, he's been everything, Taylor, to Pitt today. 8 catches, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's a running back. He's also got 35 rushing yards.
Missed the last couple of games. You wonder how much practice, just his body hasn't been used to the reps. And look, it was going to be almost a game time decision if he was even going to be able to go today. Probably didn't have a ton of reps throughout the course of the week. And well, just great matchups right here. This matchup they were able to create right here. 41 Cottrell, and you're going to see Desmond Reid work inside. A lot of green grass out in front. And Cade Bell is all about trying to create those matchups for Desmond Reid, a player that goes back with him to Western Carolina. When Cade Bell got this job at Pitt last season, he brought Desmond Reid over. Desmond Reid was a second-team AP All-American last year, All-Conference, a preseason All-American, and he has been the most impactful player in this game for Pitt. Now he's over on the sidelines.
So Boozy Turner is the backup, a true freshman. He's got a touchdown in this game. He's been good. Ball at the 14 of Florida State. It is Turner. Finds a lane and picks up 5 down to the 9. And how about Heintschel too, Dusty, hanging in there, knowing that hit's coming and making that throw.
There's no question. Poise in the pocket. Knows the pressure's there. Just got to wait long enough to allow his receiver to come open. Now this Pitt offense knocking on the door of a fourth-quarter lead.
Trailing by 3, 2.5 gone by here in the fourth. Heintschel to the air, surveying the defense, backing up, and now sprinting. Heading for the sideline. And out of bounds at the 10. Pushed out by Juice Cryer. Bring it up 3rd down.
Mason Heintschel just trying to make something happen. He almost found himself in a really bad spot. Able to get to the edge and get out of bounds. And if you're Mason Heintschel, don't force the issue in this spot. Had the red zone interception late in the first half. It's been a real problem for Pitt this season. You want to be able to take a shot if it's there, but don't force the issue.
Heintschel in trouble, escapes, being chased at the 20, and the pass just off the mark, intended for Kenny Johnson. Mandrell Desir with the pressure, and here comes the field goal team looking to tie the game.
Well, Kenny Johnson broke open. Have not been able to get him the ball all day, but excellent pursuit by Desir, and Heintschel just unable to get the football to 2.
That was awfully close, though. Heintschel was upset with himself. He's that confident. He thought he should have made that throw. And now a 28-yard try by Bukowski, who's 10 of 11 on the year. And we are tied at 24. 11:38 to go in Tallahassee. Well, I trust Pete, and obviously that's huge news.
Well, he is probable Thursday and yesterday, and boy, the timeline did not look like he was going to make it. Thumb surgery and the bye week after the game against Auburn, and if he could make it back and play at a high level, boy, legendary status and Sooner lore. Arch Manning looking for a big moment, big game. What a matchup we have coming our way on ABC.
Take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by AT&T. Oklahoma comes into that game
to locate those talented wide receivers outside. Big factor in that game tonight.
This is the 12th consecutive run for Florida State, and Castellanos is eaten alive by Nick James. It's his first attempt running the ball since he fumbled in the second quarter.
Here's Nick James. He's going to work inside and get up the field. Just continues to work, stay in there in that B gap. Also an excellent job coming downhill by Rasheem Biles, with Biles just all over the place.
Second down and 11, quick throw, and it's dropped. That was a forward pass. Danzy put it on the deck. Maybe heard some footsteps from a couple of DBs. And it's 3rd and 11.
And that was Kyle Lewis coming downhill to make that play outside. And I think he did feel what was coming at him. Danzy just takes his eyes slightly off the football. And now 3rd and long here for this Florida State offense. And depleted at wide receiver and tight end on a crucial 3rd down moment.
No Randy Pittman, no Deuce Robinson. On the rollout, Castellanos gonna keep it. And he runs out of room. Good job by Pitt to keep hovering around the sticks to make sure Castellanos couldn't get loose. And it is a quick 3 and out by FSU.
Well, it's vision defense, man. Watch these guys run. Watch them run to the football. Zone coverage on the backside. And we're going to see them just go. Watch them all fly to the football. When Castellanos declares to be a runner, that speed of that Pitt defense on display. And it was Rasheem Biles once again who gets there first. Well done getting off the field. A quick 3 and out for that Pitt defense.
Cemento had a punt blocked in the first half. Kenny Johnson, the return man, made a mistake fielding a ball at the 2-yard line. He secured it, though, for a fair catch. And the fair catch made at the 20-yard line after a 42-yard punt. Our college football headlines presented by Twist of Louisville in their backyard in Miami next Friday night. Should be an interesting game, but your preseason 1 and 2 and the AP out of the top 25 by the second weekend of October. Turner off the left edge, lowers the shoulder on Ashland Barker, only 180 pounds, but he delivered the blow to Barker, who's 220. Desmond Reid got the helmet back on. We'll see if he returns. He's got over 150 receiving yards and the first back at Pitt since Nick Goings in 1999 to have multiple touchdown catches. Important if he gets back in the game, but Boozy Turner has stepped up and really made some nice runs. You see that burst that he has when he's got the football. Heintschel delivers into Florida State territory as Kenny Johnson, and Johnson stays in bounds before he's finally knocked out near the 20-yard line by Barker. On the cusp of the red zone after that 42-yard catch and run. Well, it's a 3-man pressure, plenty of time for Heintschel. Dig route coming inside, and as Heintschel moves to his right, he doesn't miss an open Kenny Johnson this time. Hits him right, center mass. And you see Kenny Johnson been waiting for the opportunities all day. Really well done after the catch. Pitt in field goal range, tie game, inside 9 minutes to go. Another pass play. Heintschel dumps it off to Turner, and he stumbles down to the 20-yard line. Gained him just a couple. 2nd down and long. Mason Heintschel has just continued to step up and answer the bell throughout the course of this ball game. Throw it from the pocket, on the move, however you want it. Extended plays throughout the course of today. He's hung in there. And I like the way he's responded to 2 interceptions before half. You wondered how he'd come out in the second half, and he's made some really impactful, important plays to get Pitt to this point. Had the game-tying touchdown. Led them to the game-time field goal. in trouble here. The jump pass, and that was dangerous. It was behind Blue Hicks. So 3rd down and 8.
Dialing up pressure. Tony White's not just sitting back. No zone coverage there. Bring the pressure man-to-man on the outside. Good tight coverage by Earl Little Jr. That pass slightly behind Blue Hicks. Big, important play here for this Florida State defense. I like them attacking, coming after Mason Heintschel. And no Des Reid in the game right now. Still over on the sidelines.
Yeah, that's Goff, the running back, next to Heintschel. They only rush 4. Heintschel finds a receiver, but well short of the 1st down marker is Williams. Brought down at the 16. And Pitt will send on the field goal unit to try and tie the game midway through the 4th quarter.
Good job by Shaheem Brown. There in coverage. Catch tackle on Poppy Williams. You give up the big explosive to Kenny Johnson, but you regroup, you rally, and you're able to force this field goal attempt.
And Bukowski's only missed 1 field goal all year. He's 11 of 12. Tied the game against West Virginia. Ended up losing, though. Pitt did in overtime. 34-yard try. And that is good. We got a new team in front here with Pitt taking the 27-24 lead after trailing by 7 at half 3 here in the 2nd half. A rare kick return in this game. Jalen Lucas, and he's past the 25-yard line, down at the 26. And it's been mostly run here in the 2nd half. Well, they let Castellanos throw it at all. He's only got 4 incompletions, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers.
He has not impacted the game much with his legs, which he typically does. Pitt's done a good job corralling him. 7 rushes for only 10 yards. He's going to have to make some plays on this drive. So much on this drive for this team, and this is what Tommy Castellanos came to Tallahassee for. Moments like this.
Yeah, they ran it 12 straight plays. One of those was a turnover by Keziah Holmes. Pitt got 3 points out of him. They'll keep it on the ground here on 1st down. And not much for Sawchuk. And this is an undersized Pitt defensive line, but they're really good, Dusty, getting off blocks, making plays.
They get up the field. They get on edges. These linebackers are flying downhill. That's who Pat Narduzzi is, going back to his time at Michigan State. Randy Bates, his defensive coordinator now. It's the exact same principles. Those press quarters, safeties are down, and a defensive line that just creates havoc against opposing run games.
Pass play, Castellanos from the pocket has to step up, launches, incomplete. He was trying to hit his tight end Thomas, who had a touchdown catch in the 1st half. And we really shouldn't be surprised that Pitt is in this position. They started 7-0 last year. They beat a ranked team 8 of the last 9 years. And now a critical 3rd down and 8.
And they've had a lead in all 5 games this season in the 4th quarter. Showing 5 at the line of scrimmage here. Kyle Lewis off the edge.
They blitz. Castellanos spins away from pressure. Long throw, incomplete. Tried to hit Micahi Danzy right at the sticks. Sean Lee Jr., true freshman corner in coverage. And Florida State goes 3 and out again.
Boys, a long throw over on the outside. That pressure comes. Thomas Castellanos spins out of it again, and it's a long throw. How about the plant and drive by the true freshman, Sean Lee, to come contest that catch by Danzy. I think Danzy could have made a play on it, but Lee there to help the disruption. Back-to-back 3-and-out stops after the Pitt defense created the takeaway. 2 3-and-outs in a row. And Mason Heintschel is going to get the football back with a lead late in this 4th quarter.
Got a whistle as Florida State was going to fake punt on 4th and 8 from their own 29. Gavin Sawchuk.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Maybe that'll end up being a blessing in disguise.
I was going to say, it did not look like that was going anywhere. I think that actually might work out in the favor of Florida State. Pitt was there.
Yeah, he was going to go down for a loss, and Pitt would have had the ball at around the 20-yard line of Florida State with a chance to put the game away. Good punt, backpedaling and signaling, and making the fair catch is Johnson as he goes to the ground around the Pitt 28-yard line.
Well, Mason Heintschel, the true freshman, first ever road start. He had 2 turnovers before the first half ended. This touchdown pass was phenomenal here in the second half. And how about this big throw in the last drive, moving to his right, finding his favorite target, Kenny Johnson, across the middle. 2 big key plays and key throws here in this second half. It's what's really helped and catapulted Pitt to this 27-24 lead.
He was the 3rd string quarterback in camp, true freshman. Now he's starting at Florida State. Could get a huge win for his team and provide potentially a knockout punch on Florida State's season. Back in Reid, no running room though, off the left side. Bounced out by Jabril Rawls and Daniel Lyons. And Florida State's defense answer the call here with 6 minutes to go and the Noles down 3.
Well, it's a good job on first down, stringing that out. Great to see Desmond Reid back in the game. He's missed the last 2 games. He's been such a key piece of this offense today. Creates matchups out of the backfield, whether it's a linebacker, it's a safety. Florida State has not had an answer for Desmond Reid as a pass catcher.
Play action. Heintschel unloads, and it's pulled in for a first down. Poppy Williams at the 43-yard line, a 16-yard pickup.
And once again, no pressure. It's a 4-man rush, but they do not get home. And Mason Heintschel just a strike down the field to Poppy Williams. Nice route and a better throw.
And now Pitt will take a little time off the clock here, getting the check from the sideline. Heintschel with excellent second half numbers after, as what Dusty just illustrated, those end of half mistakes. They'll run Reid, and he gets swallowed at the 47 by Amari Williams. 3rd down and about, I checked that 2nd down and about 7 here on the 46-yard line with the clock nearing 4.5 to go, and Pitt up 3.
Kate Bell checking that play sheet. He was brought in because he's such an outstanding play caller. He's got the utmost belief and trust in his quarterback. Regardless of the age, he believes in him fully. We'll see if he continues to put the ball in his hands on this drive.
The 18-year-old who replaced veteran Eli Holstein last game at quarterback. He'll take off here and a ton of room. Heintschel fumbles the ball, and it somehow pinballs forward to a Pitt player. Recovered by Turner. They actually ended up getting about 7 or 8 yards more. Earl Little hacked it out, but what a bounce in favor of the Panthers.
Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and that's the case. Earl Little Jr., bam, bangs that ball out. But how about the hustle down the field?
Great job by Turner. And Florida State still doesn't have a fumble recovery all year. That would have been the perfect time to get number 1. Turner on the pitch. Down to the 18. Nearing 3 minutes to go. Florida State desperately needs a stop, down 3. A field goal would obviously keep the Seminoles alive. A touchdown by Pitt would put the Noles in real danger.
So many times today, Florida State has had pressure coming. Mason Heintschel has made that initial defender miss. He just did it on that big run, one of the biggest plays of this game.
Heintschel to throw, pressure up the middle. Heintschel dumps it off to Turner. And Turner breaks tackles and gets a first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line with 2.5 to go in the game.
And here he is again. Watch him move to his right. Pressure's going to come in his face. Moves to his right. Sidearms this. Gets it around the defender, Nicholson.
Timeout.
And finds Boozy Turner in the flat. This had to be part of what Cade Bell saw in high school on film. Messy pocket, moving.
Timeout. So 2:36 to go. Florida State has 2 more timeouts, and the official timeout coming in 36 seconds. Pitt will keep it on the ground. Turner inside the 5 and down to about the 4. Norvell will call another timeout. Wants to make sure his offense has enough time. But again, if they surrender a touchdown, they're not going to have enough time. They're going to have a situation where they're going to need to score twice, including an onside kick recovery, which is asking a lot with under Florida State. Trying to avoid an 0-3 start in conference play after that disastrous 2-10 record last year.
Quarterback can be a runner here.
Into the end zone. Turner with the Pitt touchdown. It's a 2-possession game with 2:28 to go. What a second half by the Panther offense. They've got 19 points. One more coming here on the kick, holding Florida State to just 3 since halftime. Butkowski makes it 34-24 Pitt.
Well, this crowd is stunned, and it's going to be physical football right at you. The right side of your offensive line. It's B.J. Williams going to get a key block. It's 70 Bear, and then watch Johnson come in motion and get a key block on the safety, Earl Little Jr. You cannot draw it up any better. Perfectly blocked, and it's Turner getting downhill and getting in the end zone, and a fiery Mason Heintschel on the Pitt sideline.
He almost turned it over. Little punches it free. You see it hit the leg of a Pitt player and just happens to end up in the hands of Turner. Pitt makes the most of getting that fortunate bounce. They score a touchdown, and the FSU fans head for the exits, needing either a field goal or a touchdown here on this drive. An onside kick recovery and another score with just 2 timeouts left, one of their own and the official 2-minute timeout. And a lot of questions about where this Florida State program is headed will be asked if the Noles don't make this comeback. Touchback, it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Former Seminole Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and the Buffaloes coming up next year on ESPN, hosting Iowa State, which is ranked 22nd in the country.
They're going to have to operate really quickly here, Dave. I mean, it's not impossible. And you got a 2-minute, you got a timeout. Things have to go your way, likely an onside kick. But the last 2 possessions have resulted in 3 and outs. They got to find a way to get the ball down the field. They need to create some explosive plays as this Pitt defense has really started to settle in.
He's only thrown 3 passes, Castellanos, here in the 4th quarter, and he does not have a completion. He has one here, though, to the 41-yard line, and LaWayne McCoy, a first down gain of 16.
A strike to McCoy there. Good route. It's exactly what they needed to start this drive.
You look at their last 3 drives, Dusty. Remember that drive that had the fumble? That was a great drive. They were leaning on that Pitt D line. The game was tied at that point, but they turned it over. Castellanos eluding pressure and running. He slides, and that's going to take us down to the 2-minute timeout. With Pitt in command. A shocking turn of events in the 4th quarter for Florida State. How well the Canes dominated that game, and then not a good second half. performance by Florida State today. And Castellanos in trouble. He gets rid of it at the last second as he was being spun down. They haven't signaled yet if it's a pass or if he's down, because if he's down, they may have to use a timeout. They're saying he wasn't, so the clock stops on the incompletion, 3rd and 8.
Well, it's a very well-timed blitz by Braylon Lovelace. He's going to hit this downhill, and he's going to ricochet off the offensive lineman and right into Thomas Castellanos. Very well done and well timed. Castellanos gets that ball away, but well, that pressure was felt.
Four-man rush this time. Castellanos from the pocket, airing it out. He's got a man, and it's caught inside the 10. Danzy, touchdown, Florida State. The Noles are not done yet. Castellanos drops it in the bucket. That drive takes 43 seconds. They'll still have to recover an onside kick, and they're 0 for 3 on those this year. But Florida State keeping it interesting with Danzy getting his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. 3rd touchdown pass by Castellanos.
Ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
So they'll look to see if Danzy was tackled inside the 1. And obviously time is of the essence here for Florida State. They are hoping that this play is upheld and the clock will stay at 1:45. Hard to see the ball when Danzy landed. See, the hand goes down.
Looks like a touchdown to me, Dave. As his backside hits the ground. There, where is that football?
So here you go. And
The hand, the wrist is good.
Still can't see the ball at the sweep play.
So we don't have anything down the line to be able to show that. That's the replay A is probably our best look. And the left 25, which is the same view. Based off of this, would we all agree that the ruling on the field is upheld?
I would, yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. The ruling on the field is upheld for
Right,
touchdown.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Great stuff from the ACC again, allowing us into
After
the
further
operations
review,
center.
the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
So they, again, will still need to recover an onside kick. If they don't, the game's essentially over because Florida State can only stop the clock one more time. But if they do recover the onside kick, they'd have enough time to not only get in field goal range, but have enough time to maybe go get the game-winning touchdown. But they have not recovered an onside kick in 2 years. Got to go back to 2023 against Southern Miss. So Weinberg makes it a 3-point game, 34-31.
Let's take a look at this last play. It's cover 2 on the back end. And Javon McIntyre is going to be your safety. Watch him get width to get over the top. Here's going to be Danzy. He's going to give a little head fake, and he's going to run this post. And it's McIntyre that's never able to catch up. And then Thomas Castellanos puts a lot of air into this football and throws it to where only his guy can catch it. Good job up in the air. Tracking that ball by Danzy, his 2nd deep shot down the field of the afternoon. And Florida State showing some fight once again. Trying to stay in this.
Make it a 7-point game. But because FSU has just the 1 timeout left, they will need to recover this onside kick. Or Pitt will be able to take a knee 3 times and end the game. 1 timeout left for Florida State. That's it. They'll only be able to stop the clock 1 time. Sidewinder, and it is recovered by Pitt. Florida State was waiting for that ball to cross the 45. It had to go 10 yards, and it was just spinning like a top. And then Kyle Lewis jumped on it. Again, Florida State has 1 timeout, but the clock favoring the Panthers here heavily late.
Well, it's good patience here by Kyle Lewis, waiting, knowing this thing's got to get close to 10 yards. And as soon as it approaches 10 yards, he gets on top of it. And that 1 timeout is crucial. They can't fully run this clock out and take it to a knee.
You can take it down to inside 20 seconds, though.
Right.
They're going to put Heintschel in the gun here. Keep it on the ground. Reid upended at the 41, and here will come the last timeout by Norvell. So again, you've got 2 more plays here, minute 20, so you're going to take it down to 19. And then it would be 4th down if we get to that. And then Pat Narduzzi might have a decision to make. Yes. So you're talking 19 at worst if you're Pitt.
It'll be close.
15.
It'll definitely be close because you got to have the time for a play as well, right? So you start to do the math. There's not going to potentially be much time left. We'll just see how this thing plays out, though.
Got to protect the ball if you're Pitt.
That's exactly right. That ball security's got to be what's being talked about over during the timeout right now. 2 hands on the football, nothing loose. We've seen a punch out here in this second half from Earl Little Jr. We had the Holmes fumble earlier on the other side.
And down to the 37-yard line is Reid. So the play clock starts now. So the next snap will come with about 50 seconds to go. And now we have a Florida State player down. Was the ball set? If he went down and presented himself injured after the ball was spotted, and Florida State doesn't have a timeout, that would be a penalty on Florida State. And with it being 3rd down and 3,
the clock was stopped for the injured player. This qualifies for a 10-second runoff. Please remove 10 seconds from the game clock. 127 down to 117, and start it on my signal. Thank you.
Which at this point is that's 10 costly seconds that come off the board. Blake Nicholson, you'll see him right here. He looks over. He takes a knee well before it's set. They're still pulling bodies off the pile. Blake Nicholson's over here on a knee, and they blow it dead right there. But 10-second runoff.
And then the center gets pushed. That's a penalty on Florida State. That's going to get Pitt a 1st down. And the game's basically going to be over. Darrell Jackson Jr. for some reason goes offside and shoves Lyndon Cooper. Again, it's 3rd down and 3, so any Florida State penalty, it's a 1st down for Pitt. And the Noles out of timeouts.
Offside defense with contact. That 5-yard penalty will result in a 1st down. It also qualifies for a 10-second runoff.
This just cannot happen in this situation, Dave. Darrell Jackson Jr. came back this season to try to change the fortunes of Florida State, to help this team and, have a completely different type of season than it had last year, to have, for himself, improve his draft stock, and he's had a good start to the season. Cannot have that in that spot. And it's what Mike Norvell told us. Self-inflicted mistakes has been an issue for this team, and we're seeing them here again as they're going to lose their 3rd straight to start ACC play.
They'll take the clock down. About 2 on the play clock. Heintschel takes a knee. What a win for Pitt, but the story nationally will be another loss for Florida State. 3 straight defeats for a team that all of a sudden, after the shocking win over Bama, people were talking about again as a playoff contender. But really the last 3 weeks, they've shown who they are. Now 0-3 in conference play. And